Hey everyone, welcome to Nerding.io. I'm JD, and today what we're going to go through is we're going to take the programmatic SEO system that we previously built, and we're going to use Claude Code to actually extend the keywords and build out more of the data in an autonomous way. With that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm continuing my journey in programmatic SEO, and I'm focusing on the vibe coding retreat. So again, this is a local cohort that I'm putting together where basically I'll be in different cities and want to connect with other builders where we can go and build something. The idea is that you have your concept, I'll help you code the last 10% and get everything over the finish line. So all of this has been coded in V0 and Cursor, and in the previous videos I've kind of gone through exactly what I'm trying to do, where I have this concept of multiple different cities, you can register and vote. And so I want to take this and put it into a dynamic programmatic SEO system. What that means is you have these URLs and they are dynamically getting generated. And we do this, and the outcome is this. And what we do is we have a call to action, and then basically some kind of sales pitchy landing pages that will connect on the Google SEO algorithm. So again, this was all of this was done in Cursor and V0. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to use Claude Code. And we're going to take inside of Cursor, we're going to take Claude Code and we're going to kind of give it instructions. I'm going to make use MCPs, and we're going to kind of build an SEO system that's actually going to go out and pull information from keywords and actually try and expand this a bit better. Real quick, everyone, if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. If you're looking for on-site training, please click the Vibe Coding Retreat down below. And with that, let's get back to it. So in order to do that, I'm going to go into Cursor, and we can look at the PRD that I put together. So basically what I did, and from the last video, I had this strategy. And from the strategy, I was able to take information that had kind of done and start putting things into programmatic SEO instructions. So I'm taking this programmatic SEO instructions and the combination of this SEO strategy, and I am going to start doing the PRD. And so you can kind of see that in my my prompt. I basically took this, I started with a starting point is what a prompt I want. I literally just told it to spruce itself up and use the instructions as an example. From that, I'm now going to take this and run it through Claude. So I haven't really done this before, and we're going to see what comes out of it. Key things that you should note is that I've already defined what MCPs I want to use. I know what structure. I have a reference to these markdown files and where they're stored, right? So they're at the root. It knows where my programmatic SEO library is and the data that I actually want to send here. So we're kind of looking at this kind of information, and we're going to start running this through the Claude Code. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure why I did that. It's taking a second. Okay. So now we have our Claude Code. And the first thing I want to point out is I've already gone up and set these up. So you have this ability to set different MCPs. So all of them are connected. I've created the boring marketing, which I'm going to say actually in here, use boring marketer as a check. Okay. So what this is it's actually a custom MCP that I made where in one of my last videos, where you can actually take your favorite YouTuber and use their strategy in your coding process, essentially. So I'm learning a lot from Boring Marketing, and yeah, want to continue using that. So the other thing is Context 7. So these two are actually coming from my MCP that's in Claude. Then this is actually coming from the MCPs that I have set up inside of Claude. I think I might have said that backwards. This is Cursor, this is Claude. And so, but it has access to all of these, and each one of these has different tools. So if we look at this is telling us what tools we have. So there's a search tool. You can escape to go back. What I don't like fire crawl and perplexity and data SEO all have API keys. I don't want to show those, but the idea is that they all have different tools. Let's see. And so this has like 49 different tools that it can leverage. So I'm hoping that it'll pull from this in order to get as much of the keywords and everything else that it can in order to run this. Okay, so now what I'm going to say is we'll just say do execute the SEO instructions for this PID, and just come over here and get the relative path, and we'll go ahead and see what happens next. It's going to ask me throughout structure, tool name, custom name, string should have at most 64 characters. All right, so I'm going to go debug this. Do a keyword analysis. We'll go back and we'll grab our vibecode.com. We'll add some context of our cities again. Use every tool possible to conduct. We'll see. All right, so it's going and looking, and it's getting a bunch of these. It did not actually make them. It did go out and find Asheville, found some other keywords. It is actually putting them in there. So we could probably change this to a .json. Trying to get like more information out of here, but once I get great, okay, so let's change this back to a markdown, and we'll say apply here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back into here, and we're going to say use, and then we'll say our path here, and let's see if it added words. Great. Okay, so now we have like a lot of different keywords, a lot of different information. We're able to pull this back, right? So now that we have our keywords, let's go ahead and open Claude, and we'll try this again. Let's go ahead and accept this file. I think we need to accept this one too. Nope, just bugs. Okay, cool. All right, so let's make sure that we have the MCP turned off for data SEO. We do not. So what we're going to do here is if you go Claude MCP remove, then that will actually remove it from there, and we're gonna have to set this up again. So Claude, and now we can actually run this. All right, so we can just press up, and then we can try this again, and let's see if we have better luck this time. All right, so it's actually reading the extended. It read the keywords, cool. So we actually have it's pulling in the SEO instructions. Now it has it's putting together a comprehensive to-do list. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this run for a minute. Okay, cool. So as you can see, it's got to-dos. So it's gonna do comprehensive research on the cities, research all tech ecosystem for each city. Then it's going to research city-specific advantages, neighborhoods, cost of living. I'm not really sure why it's doing that, but we're going to let it run. So it is doing a lot of analysis. Once it starts to settle, I'll unpause. All right, so this is the first action that it came back to me with. It's actually looking for Perplexity to do its research. As you can see, it also did research over here. So we're going to say that yes and not ask again. So it's just going to run the Perplexity search from now on. And I'll pause this while it's freaking out. All right, after some turmoil, I keep running into an issue where it's getting stuck on Perplexity. So what I am going to try and do is tell it to adjust itself. Cool. Now we're getting unauthorized. Looks like I might need to update my API keys. All right, so finally got this working a little bit. Now it's going out and actually doing Firecrawl. I had to do the competitive analysis was getting hung up. So now we're actually doing Firecrawl, which will actually like scrape different areas and pull back information and then actually build. Cool, so I'm gonna let this run and see now that we actually are getting queries back. Information about, there we go, cool. So now it's going through and we're creating the JSON. So we're just going to go and say yes, not ask anymore. And we're building out the next data sets. So I don't think it'll ask, I'm just going to let this run. All right, so now it's completed and we've got all the to-dos. So the project summary now is that it's focusing on specifically the FinTech programmatic. It did a comprehensive on that. It fixed the enhanced SEO infrastructure. It did all of this research, and actually it even did a SEO performance report, which I have no idea where that is, but I definitely want to see it. And see if we can get that loaded somewhere. Cool. Interesting. So put in the search volume, put in the different pieces, did evaluation on different boot camps in the area, and a lot of different how-to, long-tail how-to guides. Still keeping the same structure. Cool. So a bit close, but since it completed, where we can go from here is basically taking that and trying to load in all of this information. Again, looking at all these different topics, I'm going to go through it and try and make sure manually and just kind of look at the different types of projects, different types of tools that it's trying to specify, and see if it aligns with what I'm looking for, and start going through the SEO. But that was the way that we did it in Claude. Definitely ran into some bumps and some lessons learned. I think the way I'll probably extend it a little bit further is maybe do like a bottom funnel. So if you noticed previously, I had like the for and the how to use. Maybe do like a verse where you have like one verse the other, as far as either the tech, the local areas, or even go after like surrounding areas of the cities to just see if I can pull in more pages. Real quick, everyone, if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. If you're looking for on-site training, please click the Vibe Coding Retreat down below. And with that, let's get back to it. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to read and then analyze all the pieces and do a bottom-up keyword. And as it's going through, we're identifying the extensible architecture and implementing this. So what that means is all this, the keyword targeting matrix and things like that, I'm going to go ahead and leverage and try and do, I'm probably going to add a directory after this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this run and see how it can implement this up. So we just saw a pop from that, and let's edit. So it's adding to the, okay, cool. So yeah, we do want to make that, we'll say yes. Don't ask again. So it's going ahead and adding to the programmatic SEO. We're making sure that it's extensible. And then after that, we'll take a look at making a directory. So now we're going to say make directory and alright, so let's see what this SEO directory is, and if it's anything cool. Hopefully we don't crash, or we can get like a total number or something. Whoa, that is crazy. All right, this is like way interesting. So it gave the bottom-up funnels, used to create AI chatbot. I was not expecting 2,000 total pages from the bottom-up long tail funnel. That's pretty awesome. And we can we can take this and change it, right? Like, this is the cool part about it, is all we need to do is from, I think, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 or 6 base pages. We then created 2,000 pages. That's wild. So definitely going to expand Claude, expand this with more keyword research, fine tune this better. But I'm happy with this as a first pass. All right, that's it for us today, everyone. So what we went through was the ability to leverage Claude Code and actually take the programmatic SEO system and actually expand on it. So using different types of MCPs, we could actually do a keyword analysis and actually expand the data to a much higher range. With that, happy nerding.